Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of the Crafty Challenge. I am Tyrona. I am the creator of the Crafty Challenge, and I just want to say welcome and thank you so very much for tuning in. For those individuals who are new to the channel, welcome. If you find this video, that you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the notification button, so that way you're notified anytime that we have any new posts coming. If you are a long-time subscriber, thank you so very much for sticking around. I hope that you guys like the new videos that I have coming. It's been a long time coming. My granddaughter is now gone home. She was with me because her mom was deployed. So her mom is now back off deployment, and she has now gone home. So it's that time again. It's time to get back into being creative and challenging myself and, putting a challenge out there for others to be very creative. So, yeah. So today we're going to create a 5.5 by 8.5 planner pad. It's going to look something like this. This is going to be the layout that we're going to use. I am going to be using Canva. Everyone knows that I normally do all my designs in Adobe, but today we're going to go ahead and go into Canva because that's a program that everyone seems to like. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create, and I am using the free version. Of Canva. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create a design. I'm going to hit custom size. I'm going to make my units in my units in inches, and I want it to be 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to hit create new design. Okay. So now we have our blank lines, our blank page. Now what you want to do is you want to turn on your ruler. My ruler is already on. If you don't know where that is, go ahead and go to settings. You can go to file, go to settings, and then show rulers and guide. You want to turn that on. You're going to click it. Okay? And it's going to turn the rulers on for your top and your side. Sorry for all that. Okay? So being that we're going to make the design look like a actual notepad or a notebook piece of paper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself a header. Most pieces of paper that you see, whether it's in a notebook or if it's a plain single sheet of paper, always has a header, a header section, and then it has a footer. So I normally like my headers to be about 3/4 of the way onto the page, or for Canva, I'm noticing that I can't get like a 0.75. It jumps all over the place, and normally it goes to like a 7, and then it goes to an 8. So sometimes on here I just go ahead and leave it as an 8. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to first draw my ruler down, and off to the side over here, sorry, let's go back to it. If you look over to, I'm trying to roll over to it. Okay, let's see if I can get it. Bear with me, guys. I was almost there. Okay. Anyways, off to the left of the page, right before you see text, there's some numbers right there. So it's 0.768 is what's there. If I try to get it to a 0.8 or a 0.75, it's not really getting me there. But I did notice that if I increase my page, my screen, and if I take it all the way to the 500, it makes it easier to just go ahead and find what I'm looking for. So if you see it now, it's 0.768. I'm going to see, well, let's see if I can get it at 7.5. Okay, so it's at 0.749. And so as you see, it won't just give me that 7.5. So I'm going to leave it right here at the 0.749. That's pretty good. Actually, I'm going to put this at an inch. So let's try to get it at 1 inch. It's not giving me 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and keep it right there. And then I am going to drop down to the bottom, and I'm going to put this at 8 because it is an 8.5 sheet. And I want it at 8, which gives me the 0.5 bottom or footer. And I'm going to shrink it back down where I can see it, see the whole page. Okay. Now, what I want is, I should have left it where it was because I needed to get my sideline at about an inch. And it's at a 9.91. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to fuss about it. Okay. So, here, now I have basically my border. This is what I'm looking for. I need to put a line here, make sure that there's a line here. There will be a line here, and then this goes down to let me know, don't go below this because this is my footer. So I did notice, like when I do my journals and planners and regular notebooks, anything that I do in the program that I actually work in, I noticed that for about an 8.5 length paper, about 23 to 24 lines per page. That's including the header portion. Makes it a really nice size area to write in very comfortably. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some lines. We're going to go to Element. We're going to select the lines. If it's not in your recently used, this is something that I had on here. If it's not in your recently used, look down in your shapes, and it's going to be right there in your shapes. So I am going to pull this line over to the edge, and then I am going to pull it all the way out. And actually, before I pull it all the way out, ask yourself if you want your paper to go from end to end. So if you wanted to go from left to right, or if you want to have a little margin on the edges of your paper. Do you want to have a little margin on the edge of your paper? So if you do want the margin, I would suggest using the ruler once again to pull out where you want it to go, so that way it's kind of even. If you want a 1/4 inch margin, let's go with that. I want to do about a 1/4 inch margin. Okay. And let's see. If I increase it, nope, that's the first one. But being that I have that already there, let's see if we, yep. Okay, so we increased the size, and then I moved over my first line to get me 1 inch right on the dot. And then this one, there we go. So we got a 0.25 on here, but then you also want to make sure that your line is also on the far end. It's on the right as well. So you want to make sure that you have about a 1/4. Okay, so that's going to be 5.25. Okay, so that leaves us about a 1/4 of an inch away from both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this back down so where I can see it, see the whole page. Okay, so I'm going to take this line, the line that I created, and I'm going to put it at the edge, and then I'm going to put shift, click shift, and take it over to the next line. And as you can see, it's right there. It's not even completely right here because I can see it hanging out on the other side of the line, but it's okay. This is For me, it's okay. If you are a perfectionist and you want it to be perfect, go ahead and highlight it. Make sure that you pull in your zoom in so you can see, and then go back up to the line and make sure that you don't move that line, but move the line that you are trying to get even. So there you go. And then just go ahead and just double check. Go over onto the other side, make sure that it's even there, and it is. So I'm also just going to go, since I have it zoomed in, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up to the top. Go ahead and shrink it down though. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull it up to that line. And that is my starter line right there. Okay, that is my starter line. Now, what I do want, let me increase this some more, sorry. So because I have this line here, and I have this line here, so I also have a section, like a rectangle at the bottom of my page, and that rectangle, you know, you can range it anywhere between, I'm going to say range it anywhere between 1.5 to 2 inches, depending on how you want to do it. So you can either go ahead and make that square down here, or if you're trying to make sure that your lines are even and spaced better, then go ahead and highlight your line that you already created, and then go ahead and start duplicating that. And I am going to put about 20, I'm going to say 24 lines. So that makes 2. I'm just going to count out 22 more times. Okay, and I am going to take my bottom line and go ahead and place that in its place. And then I am going to highlight all of them. I'm going to hit position. I am going to position it over to the left. And then I am going to hit vertical, so that way it distributes them evenly. Okay, so that's about what it looks like. Now, because you have your lines already here, you're already safe to know that your writing lines are in between. You can go ahead and start removing your guides if you want. I'm going to go ahead and remove mine because I really don't need them now. The ones that I do need, I will leave. Okay, so I do need this line, and I need my bottom line for right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, on mine I have a little section up here that actually has the date in it. So I'm going to go ahead and create a box that's about, say about 1/2 inch. Scroll up. It's about 1/2 inch, so I'm going to go about 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to sit it in between. Okay. Well, I'm going to put it up a little bit because I want to be able to still be able to write on that line. Okay, so this is just me making the basics. I'm just basically putting my planner pad together on how and what I want to be done on here. So I'm going to go ahead, because I do have that square at the bottom, that rectangle at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do my rectangle. And if you can see, the height of this is a 1.7. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out as well, but I want it to be, I want to make mine about 2, if I can get it to work with me, to make it 2. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this down at the bottom, where that bottom line was, where it starts with my footer. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to delete all of the lines in this section. Okay. So there's that. Now I do have this line right here, which means I need to create another line. I am going to select line. I am going to rotate my line to about 90 degrees. I also am going to shrink that line because that line is too thick for me. And then I am going to take this line and I am going to put it where I need it to be, and then I am going to hit my shift button and I am going to pull it up. Pull it up, pull it down, whichever way you want to do it. And then after I do that, I am going to put it in its place where I want it to go, right on that line. And that is going to be the line that you always see when you're looking at the note paper. There's always that red line that goes on the side, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and that's what you see here. Okay, so now that I have this in its place, I don't need this line anymore, guide anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Now, because I know that I'm going to put an image here, let's see if I can actually get this down to 2 inches. Now I can, being that I am no longer in the line section, and because there's nothing there, there's no guide, there's no lines there that's trying to distribute the section evenly, so it allowed me to fix it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put an image right here. I have a flower that I have uploaded. I'm going to go ahead and put that flower in its place. Okay, so this is the image that I'm going to use. I'm also going to change the colors of these, the fill colors for these. You can change yours to whatever color you want. I'm going to change mine. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing because I already put the color here. It's already in my color document, my color library for this page. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm also going to take this flower and I am going to duplicate it. I'm also going to shrink it because I am taking this flower and I am sitting it up here in this section. Okay, and I'm just going to shrink it until it fits in there. And another thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this rectangle is about 2 inches wide. Gives it enough space to be able to write in. Okay, so you can do this whatever way you want. If you want to leave these black, I would suggest changing the color of this at least. Okay, and then I am going to change the color of my lines. I can leave them as is if I want, but I am going to change them to that blue color. And there you have it. there's your notepad. Simple but pretty. Now, if you want, you can add a little quote or something at the bottom. That's up to you on what you decide that you want to do. And I'm going to go ahead and add, just a little, just for the sake of the video. I'm just going to add something just so you can see what it looks like. Change your font as you wish. Let's see. Nope, don't like that. So just find, font that you actually like and just use that. Doesn't matter. Let's see. Now, if you want, you can change the color of that font as well. I'm going to increase so that way I can see what I'm actually doing down there. Now, be mindful that when you do print, there's always a 0.675 border that is the section where, when you get ready to print, you have that white border around everything. That section is about a 1.675. So if you put your print in that area, it will not print. It's going to cut it off. Okay. So there you go. This is what, our notepad would look like if it was done this way. So give me a moment. I'm going to put a pause and I'm going to hit print so that way I can print this out. And if you are printing, if you are printing on 8.5 sheet of paper, you might want to put 2 on there, or if you use a different program to be able to print off of, then that's fine. Or if you actually have 5.5 by 8.5 paper, that makes it better. If not, don't worry, just go ahead and put on the 11 by 8.5 paper, 8.5 by 11 paper, make sure that you're using the landscape part of it, and just go ahead and put 2 notepads right next to each other. That helps you out. Okay? And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to hit share. I'm going to hit download, PNG. I'm going to hit download. And there we are. So there's the notepad. Okay, I'm going to save this and then I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Okay? And I'll be back with you as soon as I'm done with it. Okay, so once I got through with my prints, I do put my prints on, double them on one page. So this is my heavy duty guillotine cutter. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these in half on here. And I do like this cutter, but then again, I don't like this cutter. Because nothing on here is ever really even. It's off by 0.067. Yeah. So it's off about that amount. So if you're cutting, you have to be able to understand that your cut is off by that amount, so that way you can fix your cut to be able to come out even. So you can either do it by that, or for me, the easiest way of doing it is actually making sure that my paper is already in half. Yeah, that's about right. Now, the paper cutter that I actually want, I do want an electric one. I do want an electric cutter. They're pretty pricey, but you know, I'm going to work toward that. That is going to be my ultimate goal. Is to get an electric one. So once I get through, here's my paper. We'll try to sit you guys up. So once you get through, it looks like this. Okay, so what you want, now that I've got my paper cut in half, you do want to make sure that you have your chipboard to go on the back. You're also going to need, I use tacky glue. I do water it down. A brush. You want to make sure you have clamps. And I also use a piece of wood to hold mine down. Okay, so again, my glue is watered down. Just going to make sure that these are even. Make sure everything's even here. I do just put a piece of paper up here at the top to cover my first sheet. Take my wood. And I want to get it as close as I can to the edge. That's what I do. And I also do this on a different surface. This is not the surface that I normally do this on. And you just want to clamp it. And doing that, I knew I was going to mess it up. So, yeah. I got these clamps at Lowe's years ago. I'm pretty sure other stores may have them. Okay. So I'm just going to just go ahead and put glue right there on the bottom. You want to make sure that you're getting the glue on the chipboard as well. And again, I put a thick enough layer to let it dry. Because I'm doing this video so early in the day, I'll check back a little later to make sure that it's dry and to finish my video. Okay. And I want to make sure that I'm painting it on here to make it even, to make sure that it does have an even layer, even though I am putting it on pretty thick. I don't have any problems when I do this, but you want to make sure that you are putting it on the chipboard as well, not just the paper. But you also want to make sure that it's even, because you don't want it to be, bumpy at the end. Okay. Take you guys down. So this is what I have. Not sure if you can see it or not. Okay. I make sure that I have it on there thick enough where when it dries the one time. And then I can just go ahead and tear off that top part. And then I tear off the top part, the top paper, and then I'm all set. So I'll return once this is completely dry. Okay, so now that it's dry, I'm just going to go ahead and rip off this part. And there you have it. You have a notepad. All right. So I hope this helps someone who's looking to make notepads. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the notification button so that way you're notified anytime that we have new videos coming. And go ahead and subscribe. You can also check us out over on social media at the Crafty Challenge. My brain took a break right there. Go ahead and check us out on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok while it's there. Under the Charming Girls. Sorry, not the Charming Girls, but you can go ahead and follow us over there as well. But yeah, go ahead and follow us at the Crafty Challenge over there. We're trying to make this a community. So thank you again for tuning in and keep crafting.